Welcome back, everyone. Today we're taking things up a notch with an absolute classic, the Corvette Convertible C3. This car is pure American muscle and style, a true icon of its era. In this video, we'll put the C3 through its paces in GT7 on the PS5, using the Thrustmaster TGT2 steering wheel to fully immerse ourselves in the action. We'll dive into its handling, power and performance as we take on a lineup of fierce competitors. Get ready for a thrilling race filled with tight corners, high-speed straights, and that unmistakable roar of a classic V8. Let's see if the Corvette Convertible C3 has what it takes to dominate the track. We're about to dive into an epic race featuring some of the most iconic cars in history. The Corvette Convertible C3 will be going head-to-head with legends like the Lamborghini Miura P400, De Tomaso Mangusta 69, Corvette Stingray, Porsche 911 Turbo, De Tomaso Pantera, Maserati Merak SS, Ferrari 308 GTB, and more. Each of these cars brings its own character to the track: raw power, sleek design, and a legacy of performance. But the question is, can our C3 hold its own against these fierce competitors? Buckle up, because this is going to be a race full of drama, speed, and pure adrenaline. Let's hit the track and see what this classic Corvette is made of. As we hit the track with the Corvette Convertible C3, its character becomes immediately clear. This classic beast is all about that raw vintage muscle car feel, and you can sense it in every turn of the wheel. The steering, for starters, has that heavy mechanical feedback typical of cars from this era. Unlike the razor-sharp precision of modern sports cars, the C3's steering requires a bit more muscle and anticipation. It feels less like guiding a scalpel and more like wrestling a powerful animal. There's charm in that, but it demands respect. Every input you make takes a fraction longer to translate it into action, so planning ahead is key. The platform and chassis are a mix of strength and nostalgia. The C3 is built on a fiberglass body, keeping the weight manageable, but its long wheelbase and wide stance make it feel planted, especially on straights. However, the independent rear suspension setup, while advanced for its time, has its quirks. It gives the car decent stability, but when you push hard into corners, you can feel the weight shift. It's a delicate balance between grip and oversteer. As for the drivetrain, the Corvette Convertible C3 sports a classic front-engine, rear-wheel drive layout. This setup is what gives it that unmistakable muscle car personality. With all the power going to the rear wheels, it's easy to break traction if you're too aggressive on the throttle, especially coming out of tight turns. The rear-wheel drive feels lively, and combined with that V8 roar, it's an engaging experience, but it can quickly punish you if you don't respect it. In short, the C3 is a car that rewards skill and patience. It doesn't have the forgiving nature of a modern racer, but that's exactly what makes it so fun to drive. It's a pure, unfiltered connection between the driver, the car, and the road. The Corvette Convertible C3 might not be the first car that comes to mind for handling awards, but it has a legacy worth celebrating. In its time, the C3 Corvette made its mark in both style and performance. While its handling wasn't as refined as some European counterparts like the Porsche 911 or Ferrari 308 GTB, it stood out for its raw muscle and capability, especially on American roads. On the track, the Corvette C3 earned its stripes in endurance racing, particularly with modified versions in events like the 24 Hours of Le Mans and the IMSA GT series. The C3's durability and powerful V8 engine made it a competitive choice in these grueling races, even if it wasn't the sharpest tool in the corners. As for awards, the Corvette C3 was more celebrated for its design and innovation than outright handling. Its groundbreaking fiberglass body and aggressive styling turned heads and set trends in the automotive world. Car magazines of the era praised it for its straight-line performance and its presence on the road. While it may not have racked up a long list of handling trophies, the C3's contribution to motorsport history and its role in defining the American muscle car cannot be overstated. It's a car that commands respect, not for perfection, but for its character and its ability to perform when it mattered most. The Corvette Convertible C3 is a visual masterpiece, a perfect blend of muscle and elegance that screams late 1960s and 70s automotive design. Its long, sweeping hood, sharp nose, and pronounced curves give it an unmistakable presence on the track. The designers of the C3 were heavily inspired by the Mako Shark 2 concept, and you can see that influence in its aggressive, almost predatory stance. On the track, every angle of this car shines. The wide rear fenders, flared to house the fat tires, look stunning as it powers down the straights. The low-slung profile, coupled with the convertible top, makes it one of the sleekest silhouettes on the grid. In replays, watching the C3 carve through corners or blast past other cars showcases its design heritage perfectly. It looks like it belongs on a racetrack as much as it does cruising along a coastal highway. During the race, you can see how its chrome accents sparkle under the sunlight, adding a touch of elegance amidst its raw muscle. The split bumper design at the front, with its hidden headlights, is a classic hallmark of the C3 and sets it apart from the other cars like the Lamborghini Miura or Ferrari 308 GTB. The quad exhaust tips at the back provide the finishing touch, with every growl and roar of the V8 making it impossible to ignore. This car doesn't just move, it commands attention. Whether you're watching it from the driver's seat, the camera above the track, or a cinematic replay, the Corvette C3 Convertible is a reminder of a time when cars weren't just built to perform, they were built to inspire. The Corvette Convertible C3 has always been celebrated as a design icon, earning praise and admiration for its groundbreaking and daring aesthetics. While it may not have won formal design competitions or specific awards like modern concept cars do, its impact on automotive design is undeniable. The C3's shark-inspired design, heavily influenced by the Mako Shark 2 concept car, was revolutionary at the time. Its long, flowing lines, dramatic curves, and hidden pop-up headlights made it stand out from its competitors. Car enthusiasts and critics alike praised it for pushing boundaries, and it became one of the most recognizable and beloved American sports cars of its era. In fact, the Corvette C3's design is often listed in retrospectives and rankings of the most beautiful cars of the 20th century. Its timeless appeal also made it a favorite in pop culture, appearing in countless movies, TV shows, and magazines. Beyond aesthetics, the Corvette C3's fiberglass body was also an innovative feature that received widespread acclaim. It showcased how design and engineering could merge, creating a car that was not only beautiful but also advanced for its time. Though it may not have a trophy shelf full of awards specifically for its looks, the C3's enduring popularity, its status as an automotive icon, and its influence on future Corvette models are a testament to its legendary design. To this day, it's a car that turns heads and inspires admiration wherever it goes. The race with the Corvette Convertible C3 is proving to be an adrenaline-packed challenge. Competing against legendary cars like the Lamborghini Miura, Ferrari 308 GTB, and Porsche 911 Turbo, every second counts, and the tension is palpable as we navigate through each lap. Driving this classic through the Thrustmaster TGT2 adds an incredible level of immersion. The feedback from the wheel really brings the car to life. Every bump in the road, every slight loss of grip, and even the weight transfer when cornering feels as though you're truly sitting behind the wheel of the C3. The heavy steering characteristic of a car from this era is simulated perfectly, making you work for each turn and rewarding you with a sense of accomplishment when you nail it. The race itself has been intense. The C3's rear-wheel drive layout, combined with its powerful V8, makes it a bit of a handful, especially in tight corners. You can feel the back end wanting to step out, and the Thrustmaster lets you catch those moments just in time. Or sometimes not, as a few spins have reminded us. It's all about balancing the throttle and steering inputs to keep the car under control, which is easier said than done when you're surrounded by fierce competitors. The straight sections are where the C3 shines, with its roaring engine and raw power propelling it forward like a missile. But as soon as we hit the technical parts of the track, it's a battle to keep the car composed. The Thrustmaster really lets you feel the weight shifts and the struggle for grip, making every lap a workout. This race isn't just about winning, it's about mastering the art of driving a classic car with all its quirks and personality. The C3 demands respect, And through the Thrustmaster TGT2, you get to experience its soul in every turn, every drift, and every moment of triumph. The question is, can we harness its raw power and climb our way back to the top? Stay tuned. The Corvette Convertible C3 has graced the garages of several celebrities over the years, becoming a symbol of style, freedom, and power. Its iconic design and undeniable charisma made it a popular choice among Hollywood stars, musicians, and athletes. One of the most notable owners was Elvis Presley, the king of rock and roll himself. While Elvis owned several cars, his love for American classics was well known. And the Corvette was a perfect fit for his bold personality and taste for flashy rides. Another famous name associated with the Corvette C3 is Janis Joplin, who was a huge fan of classic American cars. Although her most famous ride was her psychedelic Porsche 356, she reportedly appreciated the bold and muscular design of the Corvette. Moving to the silver screen, the Corvette C3 appeared in numerous movies and TV shows, often driven by suave and adventurous characters. The car became a pop culture icon, symbolizing the golden era of American muscle cars. It also gained fans in the racing world, with professional drivers and enthusiasts alike embracing the Corvette for its performance and unmistakable presence. The allure of the Corvette Convertible C3 has endured, and even today, you'll find modern-day celebrities adding this classic to their collections. Its combination of beauty, performance, and nostalgia makes it a timeless favorite for those who appreciate automotive history. We're holding steady in 5th place, and the race is heating up as we close in on the iconic Porsche 911 Turbo ahead of us. The tension is real, as every turn and straight brings us closer to overtaking one of the legends of the track. The Porsche is agile and quick, especially in the corners, but the Corvette Convertible C3's raw V8 power gives it a fighting chance on the straights. The roar of the engine as I push the throttle to its limits is electrifying, and with each passing second, the gap between us narrows. The challenge lies in timing, finding the perfect opportunity to make the move, whether it's drafting behind the 911 Turbo on a long straight or outbraking it into a corner. This is where the Thrustmaster TG2 truly shines, giving me precise control and feedback as I work to exploit every inch of the track. Can the Corvette's muscle beat the precision of the 911 Turbo? Stay tuned, this battle is just getting started. The race is nearing its thrilling conclusion, and I've climbed to 4th place, so close to the podium I can almost feel it. Just ahead, the battle for 3rd is within reach, with every ounce of focus and power being channeled into these final laps. The Corvette Convertible C3 is roaring at full throttle, its V8 growling as I push it to the limit. Each corner demands precision. There's no room for error now. The car's rear-wheel drive keeps me on edge, with every turn threatening to break traction, but I'm determined to keep it steady and make my move. The car ahead is within striking distance, and the gap is closing with each straight and chicane. If I can find just one more opportunity, a slipstream down the straight or a late-braking maneuver into a tight corner, I might just secure that coveted top 3 finish. The finish line is approaching, the pressure is mounting, and it's all or nothing now. Can the Corvette storm its way onto the podium? Let's find out together. We're almost at the finish line now, and it's getting intense. The final straight is in sight, and just ahead lies that critical corner, the one where I can make my move and push forward into the top 3. The Corvette Convertible C3 is roaring, the engine growling as I approach that turn with precision. This is my chance. If I can brake late enough, hit the apex just right, and power out of the corner cleanly, I could close the gap and make the move to pass into 3rd place. Every moment counts, and I know I can't afford a mistake. The car's rear-wheel drive has kept me on my toes throughout the race, but now it's time to master it. This is the moment where all the practice and focus come together. The opportunity is coming up fast, and as we approach the turn, I'm ready. It's now or never. Let's see if we can do it. Oh my God, just as I was about to make my move and push into third, it all went wrong. The Corvette Convertible C3, with its raw power and rear-wheel drive, just couldn't hold it together in the final corner. I was about to break free, but the back end stepped out, and before I knew it, I was spun around and off track. That was the moment. Right there, on the verge of making a brilliant move. It's so frustrating, but it's also part of the thrill of racing these classic cars. One misstep, one slight overcorrection, and everything can change in an instant. Now, instead of advancing to the top three, I've dropped back. What a heartbreaker. The race was almost ours, but in the end, the Corvette just didn't let me control it the way I wanted. Let's regroup and see what we can do in the final moments. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the ride. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more action-packed races and exciting content. See you in the next video.